Guys, welcome back to the Working Fans Podcast, episode 134. We have a very special guest. If these guys, Joel and Jose Maximo, did not do what they did in the wrestling business, the style that is all across the wrestling business now would not happen. We are here to talk to the godfathers of the modern style, and we cannot wait to bring it to you after this intro video.
Are you a fan of pro wrestling, comedy, and combat sports? Then we have the podcast for you because we cover that and much, much more.
Do you like to debate with your friends? Do we have the perfect segment for you? It's the 531, where we take any given subject, break it down to a top 5. From there, we debate it down to 3 and then into that number 1 spot.
If you want to get a hold of us, find us on our social medias. Search Working Fans Podcast on any major social media platform. And if you want to find the podcast, search for us on any major podcast platform as well as YouTube.
Working Fans Podcast. We put in the work so you don't have to.
Guys, as always, we are brought to you by the Pro Wrestling Vault, 35 stories from across the wrestling landscape, written by Vinny Barry, available at WrestleVille.com and LanceByChance.com. Vinny Barry also wrote Lance by Chance, Wrestling is a Von Erich, available at LanceByChance.com. You know, we're brought to you by Graham, by AO Money Meach, available anywhere music is. And guys, honestly, I'm rushing through these reads right now because I'm very excited to bring in our guest. First, we'll bring in the man they call Dave, and next, the guy who is currently communicating with his brother because we had some minor technical issues, the great Jose Maximo. Jose, how are you doing today, brother?
I'm good, brother. How you doing? How you guys doing? I'm actually texting him right now.
We are so excited for this interview, and I mean, like I said, the style that is so popular now would not be around if you guys didn't break that ground years ago. And I know Dave has some questions, so I don't want to hold him back.
Yeah, I mean, so you guys set the style, but like, who influenced you? You guys were obviously fans. Who were the guys you looked at?
I mean, for me, we had a variety of guys. We watched a lot of Japan stuff, early 90s, you know. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time was, I have a top 3, big 3. For me was Jushin Thunder Liger. Big, huge mark. Like if I saw him today, I'll probably hug him. I loved Hayabusa and Owen Hart, believe it or not. I loved Owen, bro. In Japan days, he's the man. And my brother was Dick Togo, Shawn Michaels, and Eddie Guerrero. He was a huge fan.
That's great shit. That explains why you guys have a unique style. You were into a lot of different stuff there.
A lot of different stuff. We always wanted to mix it up.
Now, what was it like when you guys started? Because now Japanese wrestling is everywhere. Like, anybody can watch All Japan, Noah, New Japan.
It's crazy.
But you guys, you had to be like on the underground really getting that stuff. And we hear a lot about the 90s, how that Japanese influence came over. MVP talks about it.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of wrestlers influenced by those tapes.
Absolutely. I mean, it was it's back then when we were coming up, it was if you got to Japan, you did it. That's it. That was the gig. If as a wrestler here independently, if you got to Japan, that's it. That's the big stage for most guys. That was the accomplishment over anything else. I mean, a lot of guys obviously want to get signed to WWE and whatever else, but for us specifically was doing tours out there, and we got to live it out, man. It was freaking awesome. We used to acquire tape somehow. I had a friend, Chris Devine, huge mark of Japanese wrestling. He was the guy who actually got us really to start wrestling. Yeah, got us into wrestling when we were younger. I mean, we all grew up together. Chris Devine, Brian Excel, Red's our cousin, so we grew up in the same households. And Joel, I've known them since we were like 8 years old, 7 years old. Chris Devine and Quiet Storm, we met him for the first time when he was 14. I was 15. or 14. Yeah, we were about the same age actually, and that was in the wrestling ring in Brooklyn in an abandoned freaking church. And all we ever did was look at Japanese tapes, Mexican tapes. And for a year there, before we started training with Mikey, we were trained by Super Aguila from Mexico. He was there at the time from AAA and CMLL, and he was training us how to do lucha. So all we knew in the beginning was just lucha libre. We didn't even know how to do American style wrestling yet. It was weird. It was a weird transition because we started to do lucha, and then eventually that's when we started to train with Mikey at the House of Hardcore, HWA at the time. Mikey Whipwreck, that's when he took us on his tutelage, and he taught us how to actually wrestle, how to run, how to use footing, cut the ring off, all the basics and all the great things that we do now that we learned because we were just like lucha, 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 lucha. He was like, "Oh, slow down, relax, learn how to wrestle first."
And that must be why your guys' style is so exciting, because if you don't start with American wrestling, if you're starting with lucha, you're already starting with the high flying, the acrobatics.
Yeah.
And then if you're influenced by Japan, Japan and Mexico really seem to go hand in hand with a lot of exciting wrestlers.
Yeah, it's crazy because you can mix it up. I mean, for me personally, Japanese wrestling, and you guys know, I mean, Kenta Kobashi.
Right.
I'm a freaking mark of him. It was all Japan days, New Japan days, Pro Wrestling Noah, you name it. Like we watched it all from what was it? Michinoku Pro. We're talking Michinoku. Great Sasaki. Joel used to love Dick Togo. That's his idol, his hero. He broke his ankle at the Manhattan Center with the Spanish.
That's another story.
That's a whole different story. But that's one of those things. We were marks of all kinds of wrestling, bro. So I mean, we still students of the art. We love to watch and learn and see how the guys. But the thing that we're sticklers for is not to do what they did. Just do our own shit, make up our own moves, make up our own things, leave a stamp. That's what we were aiming, and look, it's turning out to be all right.
Yeah. I mean, quite a comeback. We'll get to that, but I mean, you guys, you're training with like Mike Awesome and Mikey Whipwreck. I mean, these ECW standouts. And then
the Mike Awesome thing. I don't know how that rumor. Mike Awesome was a great friend. Mike Awesome was fantastic. We shared locker rooms with him up and down the East Coast. But we never trained with Mike Awesome, ever.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we've gotten beat up by Chris Chetty and Taz and Mikey Whipwreck beat the shit out of us. But that's it. That's it. Actually, not even Taz. It's just Chris Chetty and Mikey Whipwreck. Well, Chris Chetty just used to come by and whoop our ass every now and then. And Roadkill, which just passed by. We were terrified. But other than that, it was Mikey Whipwreck. It was our only and sole trainer besides Super Aguila that we trained with for a year.
Now, what was it like training with Mikey Whipwreck?
At first, it was. I think, and if anybody else goes through the training we went through, they'll quit wrestling. I'm not even kidding. I guess, since we were the last guys there at the ECW House of Hardcore, I guess they had a thing, to see if they could break us. Almost did a couple of times. We stood in front of the building, and me and my brothers would be talking like, "Damn, should we go in? Should we even go in there today?" And they'll just make an example. Like, for example, one time, Chris Chetty, I love you, bro, but it has to be said. One time, we were training. Chris Chetty came in and he was mad at something. Something wasn't going to happen at the ECW pay-per-view that Friday, and he slammed his phone against the wall. You remember that, Jose?
Yeah.
And then he started whipping you off and clotheslining you, remember?
Yep.
So my brother's lips just started gushing blood. Then I'm in the corner holding on really tight. I'm a student. And, these guys are superstars. And I can't say shit because I'm next. But I held that, man. I held that in like, oh, man, one day we're going to get in the ring. I'm going to pay you back for what you did to my brother, And we got to wrestle him plenty of times. And he kicked our ass anyways. But it was hard. It was hard. They used to make us build the ring, put it in the truck for the ECW shows, then take the shitty ring, put it back, and then go home, not even train. Then come back the next day. We'll do like how long we'll do that? An hour and a half of squats and climbing chairs.
Mikey had a specific program. It would break you.
It was like 3 hours before we even hit the ring. And
I think we didn't touch the ring for 3 months. Legit. Training with him was probably the best wrestling experience of my life. Like, he's the man. Mikey Whipwreck, I'm telling you, he's the GOAT. He's the man in my eyes. He's one of the best wrestlers of all time. One of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. I think he should go on every Hall of Fame and be praised. You know what I mean? He's the man.
Well,
I imagine he's got to be in that next indie wrestling Hall of Fame class when that comes around next year.
Joe, he has to, Joe, because if you look at TV from anywhere from AEW to NXT, you see all of Mikey's students. Zack Ryder, us, Red, the whole half of the whole what are they called? The scary guys from AEW.
Oh, the Dark Order.
Yeah, half of them are Mikey's students.
Yeah, right.
John Silver, Alex Reynolds, the list goes on, bro. What's their names? The ones that rap.
Max the Acclaim, Max Caster, and Anthony Bowens.
Yeah, I also came out of that same line of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, which are Mikey students, you know, so it's just spread out. Mikey Whipwreck students are all over wrestling.
Wow, so you guys are part of like an elite alumni of just.
We were the first 5.
We're the first.
Bro, there was like 16 students that went to his school, and it's us 6 lasted at the end. It was Chris Divine, me, Red, Quiet Storm, and Brian Excel and Joel.
That's it.
Oh, and Shane.
Yeah, Wayne. Shane, he's the owner of NYWC.
That's it. Everyone else started to drop, and that's it.
Well,
we were the last.
I wanted to be one of those. I wanted to drop a couple of times, bro. I was always the heaviest, so he'll pick on me the most. Like, heavy, come here, heavy, come here. I was fucking being fat, man.
But I mean, look at it. You guys were able to survive that, and now you're on this current, like, I almost don't want to call it a comeback run, but like you guys are coming back harder than ever, showing these young guys where this style is coming from.
Thank you, bro.
That's the hope, man. We're hoping to freaking do new stuff now. We're crazy. We're retarded like that.
That makes it even more exciting. Like, these guys are deep in the game. They don't have anything they have to prove, yet they want to go out there and they want to innovate.
Well, before my brother, Mike Verna, you ever heard of him?
We had him on the show actually a few years ago. Yep.
He's my student.
Okay.
He kept asking me and telling me, "Yo, come back, get your brother, get back." And then Gringo Loco started hitting me up, and he's like, "Bro, listen, GCW's on fire. You guys got to come back."
You got me excited for the World on Lucha now. You guys got to be on that card, Collective Weekend.
What?
Oh man, Collective Weekend. Is that WrestleMania weekend?
That is.
Nah, man, we booked up down here.
Ooh.
Yeah, we booked up down here. We have I can't say right now.
That's all right.
Don't worry about it. We'll be glued to the computers to see.
That Friday the 1st, we wrestling some old school cats from Special K and somebody that they're bringing in from Mexico, which is cool. And then that Saturday, we're wrestling a Mexican and 2 other guys called Zoltan for Guts and Glory Wrestling is called.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that before you guys went on the air. You guys are popping up on all kinds of different promotions now. Like, any old school fans are like, I haven't been able to stop talking to Dave about this because, like I said, I first became like familiar with you guys on MLW, the original run.
Jeez, yeah.
What was that first run like? And I was saying, your guys' promos always popped me. It looked like you were having fun. And it was just anytime you guys were in the ring, I'm like, I have to see this match.
That's awesome.
MLW was one of our biggest runs because Kurt Bauer really believed in what we were doing. So he was like giving us all the talent he could, you know, so we could wrestle. And to prove ourselves, at that time we were very young and stupid. So anything that they gave us to do, I'll do. But as far as MLW, I think they're a great company. I had a lot of fun there. I want to go back. Nobody ever gave us title runs, you know, Dave and Joe, because this is what promoters always said to the S.A.T. You guys are over. You don't need belts. But champions are what people talk about all the time, you know. So this time around, we want to turn the tide. You know, we're gonna collect every single damn strap that we could see.
Yeah, because it feels good for people to tell you you're over and up, you don't need a title, but then the performer in you knows you're a champion. You know what you guys can go out and do.
100%.
So it's like, give us what we're due. Like, don't tell us we're too good for it. Give us what we need.
100%.
At that time, we will speak like that, and then, you know, it'll be to the back burner. That's how it was. This time around, wrestling's changed, and now, you know, it's like people are really doing the research, and people are respecting the fact of that wrestling is a craft and is an art, and what we do is not easy at all. And fans and podcasts like your podcast is what drove us back. Like, I want to be a part of this generation. I created half of it. You know, I want to be a part of it. I want me and my brothers to go out there and do what we could at this age. This is probably my last one. My younger brother is in it now. Will, he has years to go, and he's amazing in the ring. Wait until you guys see him. So
nice. And I imagine being able to put on your younger brother's got to feel good too. Welcoming him in and just getting to do it as a family.
It's funny because when he first broke in, Jose has stepped out, but they look alike. So Will when
exactly alike. He's like a twin.
Will went with me to WWC Puerto Rico, Carlos Colon's company, and it was like 2009. And the owner came in and he was like, "Oh, what's up, Jay? That's my son." And then the owner comes in. I mean, the booker, which is y'all know him, right? The Invader.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. Everybody knows him. The Invader comes in and he's like, "Oh, Joel and Jose, you guys take the titles to." I stood quiet. So me and Will went out there. We won the belts, and we come to the back. Everybody's celebrating, and we're like, "Cool." And then he's like, "That's not Jose." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my brother. It's Will." But he's like, "You guys said it was Jose the whole entire time. I've been telling them." They flew him in as Will Maximo, Will Maximo, the whole thing. And then at the end of the show, he's like, "You're not Jose," and I'm like, "That's still my brother. It's Will." They look just alike, bro. It's crazy. It's funny.
And that's a scary guy to get mad in the locker room too. Like,
don't go to the shower.
Wow.
We'll do all our business in front of people. But what was it like to wrestle in Puerto Rico? Because you've heard how wild the fans are.
Bro, the first time we did a tour, right? We did it was WWC, same thing, right?
Yeah. No. It was
ICW?
It was IWA
for Savio Vega.
Yeah.
IWA was huge.
Savio and
Victor Quiñones.
Yeah.
So we were wrestling, but we were the heels because we're from New York. So they were like, just shit on the fans and blah, blah, blah. One night, we were at an arena. It's freaking packed. They pack house every single night. It's ridiculous. Like 8,000, 10,000 people every single night. So we were at this arena, and I'm standing, and I'm healing the fans in Spanish, talking the shit, da-da-da-da. And I'm telling these people, come down, come and fight. If you're mad enough, come and fight. The guy starts coming. He must have been like 6'4", the biggest Puerto Rican I've ever seen. He's running down the bleachers full speed. So I'm like, all right, cool. I look at the security guard, like, get in front of him. Security guard disappears.
Yeah.
He wants me to fight the guy. I run to the back. I'm like, dude, what's going on? The freaking fans are going to come out. They're throwing battery acid at us. They're beers. They're crazy out there. They believe it's not a work. It's real. It's crazy in Puerto Rico. That's what's awesome about wrestling there. Even the heels and babyface don't come out of the same curtain. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even share locker rooms. We used to have to split locker rooms.
Yeah.
So you better know your shit, because when you get in the ring, that's the first time you see your guy.
Yeah, we were in Puerto Rico saying that we hated being Puerto Rican.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what we left.
So they were calling us sellouts. They were calling us all types of fucking crazy names. It was crazy, man. I'm sorry.
It was a good time.
It was just insane. But that Puerto Rico was scary. It was scary. It was the whole thing. The whole thing was shady. It was crazy. It was like, if you get out of line, they'll stab you.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. Yeah. Japan has always been my favorite place to wrestle in. The whole thing. All those 9 years we spent out there was crazy. It was
Japan was amazing.
Now, how did you guys get to Japan? Was that through Victor Quiñones?
No, it was through Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It was I believe it was their second show. We wrestled the His Squad and the Special K, and we made up the Tower of Doom thing. You remember that?
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
Oh
like
yeah.
powerbomb, suplex. So I was calling that shit out in the back, and His Squad was like, wait. So we powerbomb everybody, and we're like, yeah, let's do that. Once we did it, Nakamura was in the audience, and he was like, who thought of that? Blah blah blah. We were talking us, and then he was like, I want you guys in Japan, man. 2000
And Steve Carino was the booker
yeah.
there too, so he was
Yeah,
we
Carino
were-
was the booker.
he was booking a lot of the guys too, which was good. And then
From
we
there-
became friends with Tiger Hattori, the referee.
Yeah.
That's my guy, bro. That's like he lived right by me. I used to go to
Huh.
dinner with that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Well,
gotta
Tiger-
be crazy to watch him on TV and then have him be the guy that's just hanging out with you.
bro, it was
All I've
crazy.
heard, he's the
I went to
coolest
dinner with
guy.
him and my wife, and I brought my wife. I was like, I'm bringing my
Remember
wife.
that?
He
I was
like,
there.
yeah, you were there.
Is that
right?
is that when they were putting the fish scales and you didn't want to eat?
I didn't want to eat. I can't, bro. I'm malnutrition. I'm sorry, man. They eat some weird, right? So, but I'm cool with it. It's cool now. I'm a grown man. I was really young back then, anyway.
Yeah,
And my wife is drinking wine, and she's just hanging out, kicking it. She don't realize Japanese custom. If you drink, they'll keep pouring. They'll keep pouring. They'll keep pouring. Your cup's never empty. It's crazy. Your cup is never empty. You drink and then boom. You drink and boom. Here you go. They'll just sit there. And she's like, why is it not going down? And she's already. I was like,
listen,
stop drinking. That's all you gotta do.
Japanese drink way more than Mexicans. And I used to think Mexican men, because we went out to drinking with Ricky Marvin and Juventud in Tokyo, and they could drink. They got really drunk, but
They
the
cannot drink Ricky
Japanese,
Choshu.
the Japanese, yeah, Ricky Shoshu took. Man, we skipping all over the place. I'm sorry.
That's right.
So,
We're happy to hear any stories you guys have.
so from 01, we went to World Japan. So we signed a deal with them for a year. It was a great deal, and it was through Tiger Hattori. The owners were Takao Mori, Ricky Shoshu, and Tendru. Right? They were the main owners of the company.
No, it was a Teru. It was this guy, Power Warrior. I forget his name again.
Kensuke
Sasaki.
Kensuke
So
Sasaki.
Kensuke Sasaki was the part owner with Ricky Choshu and Tenru. They had
We were so yeah. We got that deal through Tiger Hattori. We were in TNA at the time. We were signed to TNA. It was like we'll bench for about 3 months. Like they had us in the sideline. They had nothing for us, and I saw that everybody else was going to Japan. Homicide, AJ Styles, Chris Harris, and what's his name, man? Cowboy James Storm. They all started going to Japan. So when this deal came to our table, we told my writer and them to see if they'll let us go for about a month, and they told us no, that they had plans. So we waited. Then the second time came around, and me and my brother were talking. We're like, if we go, it's the end of TNA. That's exactly what happened. We looking at each other. The money was insane. I'm talking insane. I was like, damn, man. Like, I'm over here 22 years old. I'm like, what do I do? So we ended up leaving. Well, by the time the first week that we left, MLW got really pissed off because we canceled shows with them, and TNA got really mad. So they sent us our releases at home by the time we got home. And that was it for TNA. That was the case. We went to Japan over TNA. Well, we ended up going to Dragon's Gate next. We ended up doing Hustle. We ended up doing a All Japan show, and then we went back to 01. So we did a lot in Japan for 9 years.
Now, what were the early TNA days like for you guys? It sounds like it was almost like for anybody. It was like kind of middle of the road. It was some exposure, but they didn't really know what to do with you. And it sounded like it was almost the springboard to your Japan career, which is where your hearts lie.
I feel like I got to give more credit to Ring of Honor. I feel like Ring of Honor really put us out there, which was up and coming. Which we did the first show. We actually told. I said this. I'm gonna keep saying until they come to me. The first time Ring of Honor was even announced, we were on. They did a video of us, the art video. Remember, art video used to record and record.
Yep.
So they used to do on the road with Super Crazy, on the road with Tajiri, on the road with whoever it was. So he wanted to do on the road with S.A.T. and do a little American tour, Puerto Rico, etc. So we did. We were like, all right, let's do it. Let's record the whole trip. Let's record on the way to the shows. They got it out. So during that trip, that's when we approached Ralph Feinstein. We're like, why don't you just start a promotion?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I don't know. I was like, dude, you know, every single wrestler, you're dealing with every single wrestler every single day, promoters, promotions, venues.
ECW, the whole ECW.
Start a promotion. ECW is it's already collapsed at the time. I'm like, so why not start a promotion and see what happens? And sure enough, he was like, you know what, bro, we're starting a promotion. It's going to be called Ring of Honor. We're like, you know what, though? Don't do again, this is what we always did. Don't do what everyone else is doing. Make the canvas split like old Japan back in the days. Remember the red and blue? That was our idea. That was our gig. And I said, and don't do turnbuckles. Do the straight turnbuckles like in Japan. No one's doing that in America right now, bro. Yeah. And he was like, you know what? That's what they went with. We pretty much started the whole shit, the whole idea with it. With Ralph Feinstein. I swear, bro, this is a real story. You can ask Red, Brian Excel, they were all there. Ask Taka Michinoku if you talk to him. It's legit. He was, good idea. Yeah, it's good stuff. and that's how Ring of Honor actually got birthed. And then we were on the first show because we knew about the first show. We knew who he was booking, he was talking to us about it for a while. And then Gabe came in, and then it was a little different story. You know what I mean? Then he kind of took over the bookings and whatever ideas he wanted to do at the time. Which they got mad at us.
I'll Ring of Honor.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dave.
I was just saying, it makes sense. Stand out though. Like you were saying, like nobody's doing the turnbuckles like that, and I think even TNA doing the squared ring at a time. Everybody back in then was trying to stand out, and that was like the key. And I feel like that's something kind of missing a little bit now. Even though everything, the atmosphere is good, like not everything stands out as much. You know, the promotion, yeah, right.
That's what we always like to do, bro. Like, I mean, if we booked in a promotion, it'll be so crazy because our thinking is outside the box. Hey, how you doing? It's crazy because we don't want to do what they're doing already. We want to do different things all the time. This is why Hog is doing well. Hog is doing fantastic because they're the same mentality as us. They're always trying to do different things. But this is, I mean, bro, Ring of Honor is, we love the promotion because it did a lot for a lot of guys.
Would you guys like to be on? I'm not saying Super Card of Honor, but some of the big shows Ring of Honor might be doing. Would that be? Yeah,
eventually.
Cool to see you back there.
Eventually, I mean, I think we're at the stage where we can probably go back there again and do some stuff with them.
Now, how did you guys feel this year when all the talk started with Ring of Honor saying they might be closing down? It seems really up in the air right now. As the guys that helped kind of birth them, does it hurt a little bit to see such a good promotion kind of almost go the way that everybody thought TNA would over the years?
Yeah, I got a little upset at the fact that we've been talking to them for a while, and we wanted to get in there before this all happened. And now that they said it was gonna go down the drain, I mean, it brought a lot of memories to us. I mean, Scramble Cage, all those crazy scrambles tag team matches that put us in. That shit, it's still with us. I love running matches like that. I still do. Like, I beg promoters to book us like against 3 other tag teams. That's what I like. It. I like the chaos.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's pretty sick. I heard they're coming back though, right? Like,
they have a show WrestleMania weekend. So.
Nice. Yeah, I just think.
You know what we do? We beat it out of the Briscoes next Saturday.
I mean, there's so much going on at AEW. You know what I mean? Like Vince signed everyone he can possibly sign at once. That's the plan, to try to get rid of the smaller companies, right?
Right.
And I feel like they felt that pressure because of the pandemic hit. They weren't able to run shows. I think Ring of Honor will roll back again as soon as everything opens back up, bro. It's just a legacy. Fans are loyal. And I believe that if they reopen and start doing it again, fans will flock right back.
I almost feel like there's more buzz for the company right now, too, after like everybody heard this talk. And you see Gresham going around defending almost like the old school NWA title. He's going around defending these different companies. It's kind of like
Briscoes too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think that's great. Again, back to you guys. It's great, too. Now the Briscoes got this buzz. You guys got this buzz. And
bring back the Northeast.
Now, guys, who are some of the matches you've had over the years that have stuck with you the most? Who are some of the opponents you were most excited to get in there with? Who do you think taught you the most in the
ring? Well, I got a couple of favorites. Briscoe's off the top of my head. We had a match in MCW, Managed Championship Wrestling, for the Shane Shamrock Cup. Man, that match is it's like 45 minutes of just action pack. I love wrestling them. They're like our brothers in wrestling. It's crazy with them. I also like wrestling Kaz Hayashi and Spanky in Hustle in Japan.
That was a good match.
Yeah,
That
and
was a good match.
Doi and Yoshino for Dragon's Gate.
That was a
Of
great
course,
match.
Eddie Guerrero and Red versus us. That was really
Yeah,
good.
Doi and Yoshino match in Dragon's Gate is crazy because I just came off of a broken foot, and I was really out of shape. I wasn't like heavy or anything, but I was really out of shape as far as wind, and it just felt like I couldn't run, bro. I tore my groin muscle the first night on tour in Dragon Gate, and then we had 28 consecutive days nonstop, no rest, and I finished the tour limping the whole time, bro. It was the worst pain in the world. It was disgusting. We did the forearm, right? I did the forearm powerbomb thing to the outside, and I landed on my hip, and it was
on the chair. No, you landed on the chair, and it's
terrible. First day on tour, great match, fantastic. That was it for me.
The best part is the referee. He's like, S.A.T maybe too slow, and it's like, fuck you, man. He can't run. He can't even walk. Yeah, man.
Now, how do you do the rest of the tour when you know you have that kind of injury? Do you kind of tailor your style to it, or do you
he's crazy, this guy.
Me. I'll take everything. I'll add him to what he needs to do, and hopefully he doesn't get hurt. He does the same for me. We did a pay-per-view for TNA. We're wrestling Unibrow Mass Striker. You guys remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which that guy's no joke. He's nasty. And BJ Whitmer. And we got in the ring in TNA. The bell rang, and the referee says, "Take it home." Right off the back. So we forced ourselves to do a Spanish fly to BJ Whitmer, and I blew my knee out. That night it was a double taping. So Jose did all the work again. We wrestled the Backstreet Boys after that, and I couldn't run. I couldn't move. My knee was swollen like completely underneath my knee pad. It sucked. Then this guy gives the Sandman my wheelchair to push.
In the airport.
That's not funny, bro. Sandman was high as ass, pushing me through the airport, slamming me against shit, bro. It was not good.
Jesus.
I think we were on the way to Detroit, right? From Tennessee, we were on the way to Detroit, and Sandman just happened to be on the flight. I was like, "Come here, come."
Oh, they have for ICP.
Can you push him for me? Like, oh yeah, brother. I was like, roll him down. He's rolling. He's being Sandman in the airport. Let's go, brother. Full speed. And Joel's he's gonna kill me.
Yeah, I was scared for my life, Joe. I swear. I never been so scared. I was like, I'm definitely gonna get surgery on this knee. This guy's gonna drop me, and he didn't. But it was scary.
And that's got to be the good thing of wrestling with your brother, knowing that if you're in the match and you're hurt, you have a guy that will no question pick it up for you. I'm sure any partner would, but it's different when it's your brother. It's almost like nothing has to be said. He just sees where you're at.
Yeah, it's crazy. In Ring of Honor, we had a match against I think it was Jay Lethal and Dragon. What's his name? Dragon, one of the Special K kids.
Insane Dragon.
Insane Dragon. Bro, I did a drop down. Out of all the shit that we do, I did a drop down. The canvas came in at the same time, smacked my hand. I broke my hand in like 6 spots. My fingers literally turned different directions. I grabbed my hand, I roll out of the ring, I take my wrist tape off and put it on my hand tight. So I tell Joel as he's passing by, dude, I broke my hand. His exact words was, "Stop being a pussy." I just broke my hand. Broke my hand.
I do that to him all the time.
I broke my hand. Like, I can't wrestle. He was like, "Nah, come on, just finish up." We finished the match. The next morning, we had 3 dates. So the next morning, we had another 2 shows. He was like, "Oh, we're already out here in Pennsylvania. There's a theme park, Dorney Park."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Dude, let's go to the doctor. I got to check myself." Like, "You're fine. Put ice." Him and Loki's in the back. He checks my hand down. Loki was like, "Yeah, it's not broken." "How do you know? You're not an X-ray machine. Like, how do you know?" "I've seen worse." All right. I'm swimming in this theme park. I was like, it might not be broken. It might be right. I might just be a punk about it. So we're swimming, going through my day. Now my hand is a balloon.
Yeah.
Finally get home to Brooklyn on Monday. And then my wife was like, yeah, you going to the doctor. Look at your hand. It looks like a boxing glove.
It looked like a boxing glove.
Sure enough, guess what? Broke my hand. 6 different spots. Thanks, Joel.
Oh, man.
I wore a split.
He sent me the x-ray.
Yeah, I wore a freaking split.
I was going to send them tickets.
I'm like, all right, I can't wrestle for 6 weeks. Because what are you talking about? We're booked Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I can't wrestle. I have a cast. Don't worry about it. We'll just put black tape on it and we'll work around it. Yo, dude, I didn't stop wrestling. We wrestled all the dates. I showed up to every show. They were like, how you gonna do Spanish Fly? I got 2 arms. I'll do it with the other one. I don't know. It's crazy.
You did wrestle in a cast for a long time.
For a while.
Yeah.
Did you guys like through those injuries? You probably have to change certain things. Did you learn almost learn through the injuries, like how to work matches different ways and stuff?
Absolutely, brother.
You know, it's crazy that first off, every wrestler lives on Dr. Google. Every fucking wrestler. Anything that's happening to their body, they're on Google trying to search what's happening. It did need surgery. It happens. So, I guess we get used to thinking that we know. So we'll strap here, and it works. I mean, I've seen many wrestlers go out there like beat up, and they carry on a match, and then they can't walk, but it's crazy. They carry out the match.
Samoa Joe is one of the craziest, Joe. So I watched Joe, and Joe.
That's a machine.
But in the ring, he moves like a feather.
Yeah.
Like, holy snap. Homicide kind of does the same thing.
Yeah.
These are all beat up.
Homicide Yoda.
Yeah, he is.
You see him outside, he can't hardly move, walk, and then in the ring, he's like, he's amazing.
It's crazy. I don't know what it is. It just turns on. And
it must be one of those wild things about once you know the show's on, you just do what you have to do.
On. It really does.
So, let me ask you, Dave and Joe. You guys know more about wrestling. Trust me, you know way more than me. That move 3D, was that made by Devon and Bubba Ray? Was that created by the Dudley Boys?
First time I ever saw it was with the Dudley Boys, but it's interesting you say that because there were so many Dudley Boys in the beginning.
Yeah.
But Bubba and Devon are the ones I remember doing it now.
I feel like they almost must have gotten inspiration from somewhere because they're the first ones I saw do it, but it's like, where would they get the idea for it? Like, did they?
No. They could think of it because we look at all the shit we created. It's crazy. Like my brother created a power bomb to the knees. If you ever seen Tommaso Ciampa, we actually pressed him on it in Long Island before he got signed a long time ago. Yeah, because my brother made that up, right? And the Beach Breaker, that's a move I made up in 96, 97. Which Genke from Dragon's Gate, he started doing it, and when we went over there on tour, he was like, "I'm sorry, I do it." Orange Cassidy, when I booked him on a couple of my shows in Rockaway, New York, and he told me that he uses my move also, which is the Beach Breaker.
Yeah.
Then the Stand Fly, of course, the washing machine. Have you ever seen that one?
Not yet. I don't think they do it much.
No, I'm saying all these creations that we made. So I believe that the Dudleys will pull off a move like that. It's just me and Mark Briscoe the other day were thinking about what tag teams really created their own moves that are like are gonna live forever. Sort of like Spanish Fly. Years from now, it's like a suplex now. You see it in every show. You see it in almost every show. You see it like 3-4 times. Spanish Fly.
Bro, we were at the GCW show.
I didn't know. We didn't know that was gonna happen. You know, we didn't know that we were gonna create something where a whole generation will use. You know, so now we're comparing. What tag teams really brought it out, you know, like the Briscoe brothers, they are fucking amazing. But their finisher is a Doomsday Device, right?
Yeah.
Now, did that come from the Legion of Doom, the Doomsday Device?
I see. It's funny. So I grew up in the 80s, right? And that's what I remember. I remember them taking the enhancement guys, flipping them over. And
and then the Steiner brothers, you ever seen the electric chair Bulldog?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
They made that up, and then the Steiners also made up the electric chair Frankensteiner.
Right.
They really made that up.
Yeah.
So we're trying to separate.
The Frankensteiner.
Yeah, no, he made up the Frankensteiner. No, well, he didn't make up the Frankensteiner.
Yeah,
I think it was somebody else.
No, it's called the Frankensteiner. Like it's his name.
Yeah.
Like for real, he did it so nasty too.
It was a
'cause
Rana.
he did-
It was a Mexican that created it. and he
Hurricane
named it
Rana and
Rana.
Frankenstein are two different things, right? Hurricane Rana is a running Hurricane Rana, right? The
Yeah.
Frankensteiner is a
me.
jumping catch, spikes you, and this Diesel 6'4".
Right.
When did you come up? How do you come up with these details?
This is facts, because I'm a mark of Scott Steiner. He's freaking awesome.
And
Running.
he still does it to this day.
He's the man, right? So he'll jump standing. I've done it a few times. I marked out to him because I did it. I marked 100 times. The jump, catch, and then go because it looks funky. Not the running. The running flow one is nice, but it's easy.
If you watch the early Scott Steiner shit, he was doing so much crazy shit that I don't think. Yeah, like he did like almost like the fall away slam like Scott Hall, but he'd do a backflip sometimes. I saw him do where he while he's still holding on to the guy.
He's a maniac, bro. How about the suplex spike?
The plow driver,
bro. What?
Did he make that up too?
I think so.
That's the first time I ever saw that shit.
Steiner driver, bro. SSD. That guy's a freaking innovator.
One thing I gotta ask is, do you think it's being a fan of Japanese wrestling and seeing the wild moves they do over there that kind of put the Steiners onto these devastating new moves?
You're right.
I believe so.
I believe so.
Japanese wrestling, Mexican wrestling is the flipping and the theatrics. That's what we loved about it. But Japanese is more of the clean
wrestling,
devastating wrestling moves that we didn't see in the States, because you never seen anyone besides Dr. Death dumping people on their heads or doing German suplex, dragon suplex, the little tiger suplexes, tiger bombs. What is going on? Running power bomb from Liger. That's crazy.
So it goes back to what Joe was saying, though, Jose. It goes back to now I started thinking about Benoit when he came from Japan, and Owen Hart. That style that they came with is because I guess you just without you even noticing, it just gets implanted in your head. That's what happened with us. We were watching so much Japanese wrestling, we didn't even understand it. We didn't. I hardly speak English, and I'm sitting here watching a whole full Japanese 2-hour show with my little brothers. But that guy, I guess subconsciously it goes into your brain, and then that's how we started snapping and doing shit that we wasn't seeing here with fucking Evan Courageous and them. You know what I mean? Doing that style in an American way, which is what it is now.
It's
Plus,
so
growing
funny.
up in the Northeast, we grew up on that WWE style, which is it's a style of wrestling, but it's not as exciting as NWA wrestling. It's not as exciting as
It's so funny because WWF was making all this money at the time, and I grew up on WWF, so it's not a knock. But like my favorite time, like some of my favorite early shit in wrestling, like I mean, not counting like when I first got in and Piper broke the coconut over Jimmy Snuka's head, but like later on, like Terry Funk, Ric Flair, 1989, like that wasn't even one of the most profitable years for them. But I love that fucking wrestling. The Steiners are starting to come up. The Road Warriors you still have.
I used to love tag team wrestling.
You're right,
tag team wrestling
bro.
At home was crazy for us, bro. Like we thought we were the Rockers. We used to love the Rockers. We used to love the high flying shit because we were smaller guys. So we're like, that's the smaller guys. I mean, they were 6'1", but that's the smaller guys. Shawn Michaels and him. We used to love Legion of Doom was crazy, bro. Seeing these guys, they were superheroes. Ultimate Warrior. But once we got put on to Japanese wrestling, we're like, who? WWE, who?
Right.
WWF, who? Misawa. We're talking about Kobashi. We're talking about freaking what's the guy with the yellow patch? I forget his name again. No teeth. Kawada. Freaking craziness, bro. Tenru that we met, that we wrestled, like our heroes. Choshu, that was my brother's one of his heroes. He wrestled him one-on-one. This is madness. What's happening? It's not supposed to be happening, right? These are the freaking guys that shaped our careers for real. Because
I got to wrestle. Thank God. I mean, we wrestled everybody. I'm talking about everybody. You name it, we wrestled them. But in Japan, I got to wrestle Dick Togo, which is one of my idols. I got to wrestle Ricky Shoshu, which is insane. Me and my brother wrestled Kensuke Sasaki and Steve Madison from Florida. You ever heard of Steve Madison? Blue Eyes.
Name sounds familiar.
He's an indie guy for a while.
He was amazing. I mean, in Japan, he was like a superstar. The kid was 20 years old. He had like a Mike Verna body, and he was blonde, blue eyes. He was like a god over there, that kid. So they tagged him with like Kensuke Sasaki. He even won belts with them, titles over there in Japan. And and I got to wrestle, and of course Eddie Guerrero is
Right.
one of our idols, and we got to open a relationship with Eddie Guerrero and Chavo and Hector and Chavo Classic. They became
Wow.
mentors kind of to us, So
Yeah,
I got to wrestle a lot of my idols.
Eddie
Wrestling is
Guerrero was one of the top ones. Like we
Yeah.
became like friends. Like he
You
wrote
had
about us
mentioned that
in
in
his
the
book.
beginning. Yeah.
Like
in the
you
book.
writing about us in your book, bro. Like that's you know what I mean. Like it's crazy. That's
cool.
Eddie, bro. Eddie's the man. God bless his soul. But it turned out to be crazy like that, bro. Japan was really fun. Our last tour I think was Toriman, right? In Japan.
Our last tour was
Toriman. We toured with
Dragon's Gate.
Sorry, Dragon's Gate. We toured with Generico at the time, Pac, the Human Tornado, Jack Evans, right? We were all there, bro. We were all there.
Those must have been some insane shows,
bro. We were lighting the house up every
That's
day,
when
bro.
Human Tornado broke Jack Evans' whole face.
Last day on tour.
Yeah.
Broke his
whole cheekbone caved in.
Caved in. He had to stay in Japan. He couldn't fly.
Yeah, surgery.
He
He stayed in Japan for like 3 months. Go.
It was
wow,
bad.
That's wild.
Yeah, the shit you don't hear about, right? It's crazy. Human Tornado with a super kick. You had, Jack Evans.
Yeah.
The shit he was doing, and then all of a sudden, a super kick is what takes you out that day. What?
What was that? I remember that with RVD, like when he broke his leg, it was like on a baseball slide or something.
Oh,
yeah,
nasty.
Like,
Liger broke his leg. Remember when Liger did the slide and broke his leg in half? That was
I broke my ankle doing an Asai Munso against the Briscoe brothers on the MCW match.
I did
Asai Munso. I hit the guardrail, and my ankle felt like my whole leg got swollen right away. That's one of the days that Jose picked up the slack, because as soon as I slid in the ring, we were supposed to do this double team, and he was like, "Get up!" And I'm like, "I can't. I think I broke my ankle." That was it. I broke my ankle. They had to cut my boot out of my leg. Yeah.
Damn. Now, guys, thank you very much for joining us. You've been more than gracious with your time. We don't want to keep you.
I got one more question. Hold on. I just want to what are you guys most excited about? What are you most excited about coming up? And also anything you want to promote?
That's what I was going to ask. Tell us about the comeback tour. Let us know about GCW.
Right now, GCW. We're excited about GCW, man. GCW is doing freaking fantastic stuff. I think they're the next. They're the next up to me, And
I feel like they already are. They're already that company.
Yeah, and to put us on our first match day against the Briscoe is it's really cool. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to big time wrestling and wrestling the Briscoes and beating the Briscoes. So there's no freaking way we're gonna lose that match and not wrestle the Hardy Boys. They gotta really drag us out of that ring, bro.
That and NYWC Hall of Fame Psycho Circus is February 28th.
Yeah, the NYWC is our home. HWA, my brother is playing HWA to you guys. It was like right off the House of Hardcore closed, and then Mikey Whipwreck went with Paul Oria from ECW, the original Giant Killer.
Okay.
Yeah, he had the school in Long Island, and it was called HWA, a promotion. They used to do really, really well, and they're doing a Hall of Fame on the 28th of this month.
Dude, I'm bad on dates. I'm sorry.
26th, February 26th is the Hall of Fame.
There you go.
And they're putting all the HWA guys in there. Tony Nese is going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame because that's his school. He came from there. And me and my brothers, which is cool. And then we're wrestling Audacity. These kids, they used to go to shows, the HWA shows about 20 years ago and watch me and my brother wrestle. And now they're going to wrestle us that day, which is a big deal for them in school.
Now that's awesome. Do you guys have anything else to promote?
Yeah.
Anything you want the guys to find you on?
Jose, expect the unexpected, Jose. That promotion is going to be the deal, bro.
ETU
Wrestling. You ever heard of it? ETU Wrestling?
Is that the one you guys shared today? It's going to be on IWTV, I want to say, in the next couple of weeks?
No. That's the promotion that brought us back.
Okay.
We decided to go there for tons of reasons. The publicity is it's a fresh company, and they allowed us to go in there and do what we do. We got this whole Spot Monkey thing going on with my monkey, so everything's looking great. And they gave us the opportunity to do what we wanted to do, so we went there. And now that I see where they're going with everything, wait till they announce our match. It's gonna be crazy. It's crazy.
Wait till they announce everything to go. GCW, we're gonna wrestle the Briscoes. We're gonna beat the Briscoes, and then we're gonna go for the Hate Club. We want the tag team titles there. We want the Ring of Honor tag team titles. We want the Ring of Honor triple tag team titles. We want we're just gonna clean out. We're gonna clean house. Watch out.
Well, guys, that is the perfect place to end this interview. We want the S.A.Ts to get the titles that the industry said that they never needed. These guys are over, but they deserve all of the gold.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, boys, man. Y'all have us back after we win the belts.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
With my little brother Will. With my little brother Will. It'd be nice.
100%. Guys, we would love to have you
Jose,
back.
I'm a big old school Scott Steiner Mark II, man. So
I love Scott Steiner. That's one of my favorites, bro. I love that guy.
Yeah. Especially the old tag version when he was doing shit. Everybody's like, what?
Bro, they didn't even know what was going on. They're like, what is happening? I know where he got it from. He's doing that Japanese stuff. I'm telling you, bro. These are the guys that shaped us. I forget. So many great wrestlers, bro, that sometimes you forget. You think of old school wrestlers, bro. You know, these guys are fantastic. Even Ted DiBiase was the man.
Oh, yeah.
And people slept. I was going over spots with my brother the other day. His placement, his footing was freaking sick. Bro. I was like, yo, this guy was the man. That's why he was there, though. And, you know, at the time, most people loved the Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan. Sure. All right, the over guys, right? But these are the guys we used to watch. For some reason, we were attracted to the Bret Harts and the Owen Harts in WWE because we started to learn about real wrestling. I'm not saying the other stuff is not real wrestling, but, you know, we're marks of the art.
Yeah, when you get to see real work rate in the ring, that's what gets your heart going as a wrestling fan.
I know. And it's hard once you start wrestling and become a wrestler and you know wrestling. It's hard to watch wrestling, bro. It really is, because now you find yourself, instead of enjoying it, you're critiquing it and you're that sucked. Oh, that sucked. Oh, he blew that. And you're like, dude, just enjoy it. Like when we went to the GCW show, it was cool because my favorite match in the whole night was Zack Ryder. I was marking out. I was like, I think Zack Ryder's my new favorite wrestler because, bro, we've seen all like they killed it. Most of the matches were crazy. They were awesome, but I just like the old school. I don't know, and we don't even do that type of shit. We do the high flying crazy shit. But
I don't do
just
that shit
love
no
that
more.
match.
Yeah.
See, I thought you were gonna say that Lucha team match was gonna be your match, but hearing Zack Ryder, that's interesting because that was just pure pro wrestling. Get the fans riled up. Go in there. Give them the
story behind it. Remember the nut shot where he had his wife give him the nut shot?
Yeah.
And
you thought she
Joey
turned on her
goes up
husband
and then she
so
pushes
early
him
in
and he
the
takes
show.
the cup out.
nuts.
Genius.
Yeah. And the little Easter eggs too, like Hawkins coming out, spearing, which is a callback to when Edge did that one time.
Yes,
yeah, right. It's
did you
like,
notice his trunks?
He even wore the helmet. It's cool, man. They're really cool.
His in-ring entrance was Mikey Whipwreck's dragon shirt. You notice that?
That's
no,
right.
I did not pick up on that.
No, now you
knee,
say that, yeah.
Bro, I love wrestling. His white knee pads represented Mikey's tights and the blue knee pads the way Mikey used to wear them on his shins instead of the knees. So, but he actually wore knee pads because he wears the trunks. But zoom into it. Check into his Twitter. And the Mick Foley shirt, obviously.
Yeah.
It's all Easter eggs for marks like me.
Oh yeah. And his wife had the 460, which was like Francine used to wear that.
The whole
that was cool.
Yeah.
He's on his way. I feel like this is gonna be his decade.
That attention to detail is why we're gonna have the Maximos back.
Yeah, man.
Joe,
thank you guys for having us.
Hold up, Joe and Dave. I want to ask them a question.
Sorry, we talk a lot. I'm sorry, man.
What is your favorite double team that me and my brother do, if you have one?
Ooh, favorite double team.
It's funny, like you talked
there
about
you
it. It's not even like just a double
the DDT,
team,
right?
Well,
the DDT.
I like that. I like the. I'm always a fan of a good DDT, but you guys kind of, as far as I know, too, and it's not really just a double team, but it's like the Tower of Doom. Where everybody kind of goes out, because that was so fucking insane. And like I remember watching that in the old school TNA days, which funny by the way too, with the old school TNA days, I was gonna say I know like how wild it was, but like I remember watching those pay-per-views, and then like what I loved about it, the damnedest thing, like Vader shows up one week. Dusty Rhodes shows up one week. I couldn't imagine.
Yo,
like,
Bro,
I was
It was
such
so
a I
hard.
was such a Mark of Vader, bro. Like my
Yeah.
thing was always the power bombs. That's why I'm always doing power bombs and shit like that. So
It was
I'm
so
not
weird.
as big as Vader. I'm not as big as Vader or Mike Awesome, but they became our friends. So I used to just like be like learning everything from these men. Everything they spoke about made sense of why they do these moves and how they do these moves. You know, Mikey Whipwreck told me and my brother real quick. We went to do a
We talk a lot.
CCW.
I'm sorry.
CZW show. CZW show, we had the Briscoes because me and Red, Jose couldn't make it to the first show, so Red took his spot. So it was me and Red versus Jay and Mark.
I couldn't
Briscoe.
wrestle. I was too young.
That was the first time. That was the first time. Hold up, that was the first time we ever met the Briscoes ever, and we clicked right on. The next show, it was me and Jose, and Mikey Whipwreck said to me, he was like, "Look, all you gotta do is that clothesline that Chetty's been giving you guys in the ring." And nothing else. Just do a hard clothesline and the fans will go crazy. I did that, bro, and it worked. And he changed my whole game set. I was like, yeah, everything that I'm gonna do that's powerful is gonna make sense at the time that I'm gonna do it, you know. And if I can do it, because sometimes guys ain't there.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyhow, brothers, have us back. I'll tell you the story of how I broke Big Togo next time. How I broke his leg.
Ooh, that'll be the hook for next episode, guys. We will have you back. Thank you so much.
Fellas, thank you so
you
much.
guys.
Good night.
Yo, Joe and Dave, you guys are fucking cool, man. Thank you.
No,
And,
Thank you for having us,
a lot of
man.
fun.
And if I see you guys in the live shows, we owe you shirts, so we got you, all right?
100%. We will see you then.
Appreciate it, man.
Peace, fellas.
Nice
Take it
guys.
easy, guys.